What's up, friends of the good mood? This is Manni and welcome to a crazy new video right here with a changed the dynamics and firing mechanism on the Kang Dae weapon. A big cannon, right? It's been a while since we have last seen a cannon being used anywhere, and now we're trying to make that happen here on the Champions League, and let's see if we can make this setup work at all, because why are we pulling it out? Because the Kang Dae has been buffed, okay? We have finally a weapon that is capable of firing more often here, dealing more damage, being more flexible when it comes to different targets because of the high fire rate. Alright, with a 4.1 update, we also had the change coming to the Kang Dae. Instead of 1,100 meters range, you only have 800 meters now, which is all you need. You really don't need 1,100 meters. 800 is perfect, because it allows you to outrange Shock Train, Trident, Tulumbas, Scourge, Dragoons, all of that. You can outrange all these very dangerous setups and at the same time sneak kills at very long range when you think this is the shot that is gonna do it, right? And there is a Zeus Fury, he's well within range, and see, we've already done a lot of damage to him. He would be able to outperform us. His weapon has lower range and therefore is allowed to deal more damage to you, right? But at the same time, it also bypasses Energy Shield, which the Kang Dae cannot do. The Kang Dae needs to get through the Energy Shield, it needs to get through the Physical Shield before it can start dealing any damage, right? And even if you hit, it doesn't take off 50% of the health of the enemy, right? Basically, the amount of damage you do is pretty much the same as one Dragoon does. Maxed out Dragoon with one single shot deals almost the same amount of damage than a maxed out Kang Dae with a single shot. The difference is the Kang Dae has a 6-second reload or so after every single shot, while the Dragoon can fire 5 shots within 5 seconds and then having one shot every 3 seconds, okay? So the damage output from the Dragoon is massively much higher than the one of the Kang Dae, even after the buff right now. But it is important to say that 800 meters range allows you to outrange a lot of setups that even the Dragoon cannot outrange, okay? So, or basically you can outrange the Dragoon, that's what I'm basically trying to say. So, yeah, we're running this here on free for all. I've already been able to squeeze a few kills in there. I've been able to, you know, take out a few guys and they're basically sneak the kill. It wasn't really my kill, I didn't deserve it. Here we're taking the next one, boom! The Griffin right before he came out. And then I'm trying to get this guy too. Boom! Godlike! With a Kang Dae. When was the last time you have seen a Kang Dae do a godlike? That's the first time I've ever seen this happen in my life, okay? And I can tell you, it wouldn't have happened without the rebalance on the Kang Dae. It was really important, it was required, and it's very helpful to have it like that. It's much better. You deal twice as much damage against physical shields too, right? So in taking down physical shields, you're actually quite useful. See this right there? That's a Fury with Dragoons. And he has to hide because I have the range on him. Now, I should have fired at the Fury right there. I messed it up a little bit, but you see what I'm trying to get at right here. We're trying to sneak a lot of damage into the enemy team here. There's a Inquisitor. That's around 33,000 damage. Every 6 seconds, I can fire with around 34,000 damage every 6 seconds. So that's not bad for an 800 meters range weapon, but it's only a theory, right? In practice, you're not going to deal that much damage. First off, you always need a target every 6 seconds. How often do you have a target every 6 seconds? I rather have, look, boom! I hit him right in the middle of stealth. Nice. You know, I'd much rather have the Dragoon that fires 5 shots within 5 seconds and then has a 20-second reload or something like that. I think I much rather have this to be able to have the necessary burst fire damage output, right? So you can maybe get a kill if somebody who's attacking you, or you can defend yourself, I mean. Or effectively you're able to use that short time window you have where somebody is walking from cover to cover and just absolutely destroy him in these few seconds. That is, in my opinion, much better than a weapon that has a constant fire rate with a relatively okay performance than a weapon that performs so much better and, you know, having the burst fire at the same time. burst fire is always better than, you know, constant fire. And the example I can show you where I mean, what I mean with this is Orkans. Orkans is the prime example of burst fire. You have a long reload, like 25 seconds or so to reload the whole Orkans. But it doesn't matter because you don't attack when you are not reloaded, right? You just wait around the corner and wait for yourself to be able to be ready to use this thing, preferably with stealth. Now, that's obviously not happening with this weapon here. It's a one shot every 6 seconds, and the damage is okay, but not really good. So that's the one thing. And secondly, you have Bulgazaris in every enemy team on the Champions League. You see half the enemy team is having Bulgazaris, the other half is Hizes, and a couple of Spectres in between, okay? So that's what you see pretty much. And that means that to a Bulgazari you don't deal damage when he has his physical shield up and he is aware of you. To a Hize you don't deal damage because he's got an energy shield. So it's just freaking nightmarish to try to deal a lot of damage to the enemy team here with this. Because, you know, it's not realistic to assume you're going to be constantly firing at the enemy right there. I finally got the Fury through a tiny little gap. He was so careful the whole freaking time, he wouldn't allow me to shoot him all the time. But I had battles with a Trident Fury, I had battles with a Butch that had 4 Trebuchets, and I can tell you this setup here outperforms all of these long-range setups because you have more power than they have. And they usually, because they are still, you know, thinking of the outdated, the old firing mechanism with a 12 or 16 second reload in between. They're still thinking of that, so they're really confused when you fire every 6 seconds at them. But that will only be in the beginning. It's, you know, in a few months or so, I guess they will all know that the Kang Dae, when it fires very quickly again. See, we've just taken out like 40% of shield on the Hize. We don't know what level Hize this is. I guess it's level 12 Mark 1. That's from my experience, I think that's the level that this Hize has, around level 12 Mark 1. So you're able to drain 40% of shield with one of these, with all 3 shots of the Kang Dae. But that means when you fire again after 6 seconds, he's back at 60%, and then you do another 40% down. And then 6 seconds after, finally your second shot breaks the shield, the third shot starts to deal the first damage. Meanwhile, you've also already had him firing at 18 seconds, like where I have to ask this guy, what is he gonna do in all that time, letting him getting fired that much? And then finally you would start dealing some damage, but his first, you know, his regeneration of the shield will always eat your first shot, and sometimes even the second. So it's a nightmare. It's pretty much impossible to deal any real severe damage to a Hize, for example. And the Bulgazari with his absolute ludicrous shield is pretty much untouchable as long as he has the shield up, which takes you around 5 or 6 full shots with all 3 weapons to bring it down. Now, I would once again like to make a vote with you guys. What do you think? It's overall, like, in my opinion, it's a good change. It makes the weapon better, which was necessary. But I think it's, judging by the fact you have to go through energy and physical shield before you can do anything, that makes it a little bit hard to use sometimes. But maybe in lower leagues, that's not the problem. Maybe it's just in the high-end Champions League where everyone has either an energy shield or a physical shield. In Silver or Bronze League, I would assume not everyone is running physical or energy shields, and in these leagues, the weapon would certainly perform well, and I think that's what Pixonic is aiming for. I don't think they necessarily wanted to make a weapon everyone wants to use in the Champions League now. I think the goal with this was to make the weapon viable and fun again, without, you know, making without making it so that you need to have it, okay? Because it is an older weapon, and maybe that's why there isn't so much focus on bringing the older weapon into the newest meta. So yeah, but overall it does relatively good. It's just that Bulgazari's Hizes, they are nightmarish. It's really hard to bring these guys down. You didn't see that, I've already fired at him 4 times before, and finally the physical shield is gone, and even though I have the Fury, the weapon all on top, right? My weapons are firing into the wall in front of me instead of him, where his freaking Tarans hit me perfectly no matter what. Great, I'm dead now, and I haven't done any damage since he got close, damn it. But yeah, that was one way of showing it. We have 770,000 damage done in this whole match. That isn't really much, right? It is, however, and that's what it's meant to be. It's not meant to be a damage dealer. It's not meant to be a brawler. okay? It's meant to be a long-range support cannon, a long-range suppress cannon, or something like that, right? Which can be used to deal damage, but it's not gonna one-hit kill any. So that's what the weapon is, and realistically speaking, that's what we need to look at as a weapon that is simply able to deal damage at 800 meters. So, we have something coming to the left. Boom, that's a Spectre. And the Spectre is taking a good amount of damage because he has so low health, right? Let's not forget that. I really need to, can't wait to hear what you guys think. In the upper right corner of the screen is once again a vote for the new content. I need to know what you think about it. Is it good? Is it too good? Is it just right? Would you like it to be even better, right? Let me know what you think. I'm giving you a couple of examples on, you know, how you can vote on the performance of this weapon. Overall, the sound, of course, is lovely. I love the cannon sound. Boom. Let's make it loud. Hold on. Boom. This is so cool. I love this sound, man. Boom. It is a really cool sound, and while I'm watching this, gameplay I recorded previously, I really must say it triggers some love inside of me. Some love for these cannons, because I think all of us have at some point in time, started playing the game, gotten their first Schütze robot, their first Boa, or may it be the Natasha or Leo. They all come in first mounted with either a Thunder or a Kang Dae. Sorry, a Nashorn. It's not a Kang Dae, it's the Nashorn. So, yeah, but it's also a cannon. And so all of us kind of know the cannon mechanism and the cannon play style a little bit. And I must say, I'm a little bit missing that. Because it is, when I see this here, it's fun to watch, it's fun to do. The problem is, the physical shields are absolutely destroying every performance, and the energy shields, of course. Which makes me think, if Pixonic would really want to make this weapon a valid setup, even in Champions League, then I guess they would make it so that it somehow bypasses some type of shield, or it brings physical shields down super quick, like the big cannon having a 5x multiplier against physical shields. So instead of dealing 11,000 damage, you deal like 55,000 damage per shot. So that 2 shots, the physical shield is history, right? This would give the cannons a real big and awesome purpose in the game. It would actually make them a real important thing to have, so that your team can deal with physical shielded robots, right? The Bulgazari, and you're like, you know what, Bulgazari, you have a shield, right? Boom! Half the shield gone, boom! And there goes the rest of the shield. And then your team can take care of the rest, right? And you can also start hacking away at it. So maybe that's a little suggestion I could throw in here at the end, just as a fun suggestion, more like it. There's a Fujin, relatively low amount of health too, getting a lot of damage too. But I wanted to show you the new weapon in action since it has been changed. Let's summarize again. We have only 6 seconds reload instead of, 16 or whatever it was before, 15. 800 meters range instead of the old 1,100 meters. Yeah, that makes you more active. You can constantly fire at the enemy, you can constantly help there, shoot there, get a kill there, do this. You're not, firing the button, and then you're gonna sit there for 15, 16 seconds, unable to do anything. You're more in the action now with this, and that's always something I think is a good choice, right? I believe we're getting almost taken out right here. We already lost a Kang Dae. There's only like 5-6 shots left on this thing before we end this video, but it is, nonetheless, something I wanted and needed to show you guys. It is new and had to be shown in its maxed version. Alright, so, yeah, my team was also losing it. I should have probably jumped into a brawling robot and tried to help my team capture the center beacon there instead of sitting in this sniper here. I was kind of a little bit like a useless player back here. But I was recording the gameplay for this weapon and I just needed some more footage, okay? So that's it, 1.3 million damage, actually not bad, right? For a sniping weapon, but keep in mind that was a very long round and we have played the entire frickin' round, so I guess a trebuchet wouldn't really have done a lot less or a lot more. I think they would have probably been around the same level, so yeah, there you go. And the trebuchet can bypass energy shields at least, right? So that's one thing to go with. Anyways, I'm just gonna say thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment down below. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe, as brutal as a man can hit for more. Thanks for bearing with me. You guys are awesome as always. Manni-Gaming signing off. Bye-bye. And don't forget the vote in the upper right corner, right there. Click that button.